Hello! So, hello everybody. Yeah, welcome to my review of the brand new T100. Look at this card stripe! Anyway, yeah, so, hello. This is basically based on the Street Twin. It's the 900cc, 59 horsepower engine. But it's got about, I'll get the details later, but it's got something like the same amount of torque, something like 58, 60 foot-pounds of torque as well. So it's a very exciting little engine on a little bike, and it feels very nimble. Being the T100, it's got spoked wheels, whereas the Street Twin has cast wheels. Depends what you want really, and how often you want to clean stuff. But you've got two clocks, that's the difference. Same clocks as my Thruxton really, except they're black dials instead of silver, which is what I've got on my Thruxton. So the revs do go quite as high, but you haven't got any riding modes. You haven't got rain, road, which is what the T120's got, and then you haven't got sport, which is what the Thruxton has. And I'm the first person to ride this, other than the mechanics. And yeah, so here it is. So it hasn't even been launched yet. First person to ride it. So, oh, it's got knee pads, good, good. So far I'm quite liking it. The mirrors aren't as high up as I expected, so that's nice. It's got the slip assist clutch, which is feather light. And the biting point is right at the top of the clutch. Now let's see if it's got self-cancelling indicators. Alright, it kind of loses a bit of power at 4,000 revs, but anyway, not self-cancelling indicators. Yeah, it lost a bit of power, but that's because the engine's not run in yet, so I'll be gentle with it to start with. It's got 5 gears, 5 forward gears. It's got a gear indicator. Ooh. So what we got here? We got odometer, trip 1, trip 2, miles to the gallon instantaneous, and average miles to the gallon, and a clock. So it's the same as my Thruxton. Let's have a look at the clock. Yep, clock's in time. Good, good. Mirrors are useful. They're right sort of, you know, outside my body, so my arm isn't really in the way. My arm fills probably a quarter of the mirror, put it that way, without me having to lean out to see through the mirror. So that's good. So we've got ABS and traction control as standard. Whoop, whoop. Nice wide bars. Turning circle's all right. It's just a standard yoke clamp. And yeah, it's nice little. It's running along quite peachily. Oh, it has got a nice bit of tug there. Tug. I said tug. Ah, sorry. I need to tone these reviews down a bit, don't I? People think I'm a little bit crude, bit bonkers. I get quite a mixture of comments really. Some people say, thank you very much, you said everything that needed to be said. Other people say, stop shouting, you wanker. Well, unfortunately, that's kind of who I am. Right, that's full. Yeah, it's kind of linear. There isn't an oomph, but it's all right. Initial pickup's good. But yeah, it's 6 degrees. I wore a hoodie under this jacket on the way here, and I wore my winter gloves rather than these, but I wear these for reviews, you see. Hello! But they're starting to crack. The pattern is starting to crack, so they're basically semi-retired, and I can't get the replacement, unfortunately. Triumph no longer sell them, and I can't find any anywhere. But looking at the reflection in the back of that Vauxhall Corsa in front, the light is on, and I can't turn it off. No, can't turn it off, but it's got hazard lights. Hooray! Just in case, you know. Flat tyre, that sort of thing. Wouldn't be because of build quality. No, no, no fair. Oh, it's got a cheeky little bit of punch there. It's nice. I like that. It's a good mixture. Oh yeah. Dink, dink, dink. Oh, easy to get the side stand down. The bike doesn't lean as much as, say, the 900, the 865cc air-cooled engines. If you notice, it's just, yeah, when you lean the scrambler over, the side stand doesn't seem long enough, so it sort of leans right over. But this is fine. This is fine. So, Bally Ho, welcome to the Walkaround for the T100. It's the same as the T100 Black, essentially, but it's the same 900cc high torque engine that's in the Street Twin. Liquid cooled with a neat little radiator hidden between the forks, as you'll see on my Street Twin review, to be honest. But it's styled like the 1959 Bonneville. So we've got that front fender with the stay across the front. You've got a single disc brake there, which actually keeps the front end nice and light, but it's more than adequate on this bike. This bike is 214 kilograms wet. It's nice and light without that much power and torque, so it doesn't need twin discs up the front. And I found it absolutely fine. If anything, it's the rear brake that feels a little lacking. Coming up to corners, I like to dab the rear brake a little bit, and it was nowhere near as much as where I wanted it than on my Thruxton. But of course, my Thruxton's got Brembo, so that's really an unfair comparison. So yeah, it starts to look like the 59 Bonneville, and I love it. It's got this sculpted tank, and this is a lovely colour. Look at this. That has got the gold pinstripe around here, and the old school Triumph logo there. And up here, just like on the Street Twin and other bikes, you've got the lockable filler cap here, but it doesn't look like one. Look, and I love the knurled edges. I think I said that last time. So yeah, it is the 900cc high torque engine. They've called it high torque just because the torque is 59 foot-pounds of torque, which is 80 newton meters, and the power is very similar. It's 58 brake horsepower, so it's got a really nice linear power delivery. I love it. I love the fact that it comes with these knee pads, and the seat, as discussed already when I rode here, it might be before or after this particular section, is very comfy. Nice flat section, large section for any large derriere other halves. You got Triumph written there very stylishly. And I like the white piping here. The white piping does lend to a certain classic look. It's just really easy to ride. So you've got the pea shooter exhausts, twin pea shooter exhausts, which you've got on the T120 as well, and it's a bit filthy, considering I'm the first one to have ridden it. But there's the ABS disc there. So you've got ABS as standard, and you've got traction control as well, because you've got the throttle by wire. That is instantaneous. As soon as you twitch the throttle, boom, up it goes. Now on here, if you ignore this bracket for my GoPro camera, here are the twin dials. There's the clamp, handlebar clamp. And you've got nice little bar end weights, and these are the controls here. They're not too fat, and actually, it's not too much of a stretch. And there's the pointy indicator I was talking about. And the headlight, where it's either on dipped or full, and you turn it on and off with that. Okay, so no flasher, it's just on and off. So you'd have to go, if you wanted to flash, you'd go hit it twice very quickly. Okay, adjustable levers as standard. You've got 5 adjustments on the front brake, and you've got 4 adjustments on the clutch. But to be honest, I haven't felt it too much of a reach on number 1. So that's very good. You've got bulb indicators, unfortunately, but you can have the LED indicators, which is what I would do almost certainly. And of course the fork gators. That splits opinion, but they're there. You can always take them off if you want to. It won't damage the bike, and it won't really change much at all. And so, look at that tank. Isn't that lovely? I love that sparkly blue. I really do, actually. For a cheeky little bike like this, it works very nicely. And it's got an LED rear light, just like on the T120. Hang on, let me turn that on. So, let's have a look. Can you see? Yeah, there you go. It's that hoop there, you see. That's very nice. What else do you want to know? I mean, you've got... If this is the first time you're looking at it and you haven't seen the Street Twin video, here we've got... You can change these for different embellishers, like I have on my bike. You can have a different oil cap. That's the sprocket cover. You can change that too. And the throttle bodies are hidden under here, where the air filters are. The air filters are under there too, but there are the throttle bodies there. It's all very tastefully done, and a lot of the wires and hoses have been hidden to make it nice and clean, so you can look through the bike like that. So it just looks neater. And you've got the front radiator there sitting between the down forks very nicely. And you've even got these exhaust clamp fins, which probably help out a little bit. And then that's the front headlight. And there you go, you've just got the standard front brake reservoir, but you don't need the anodised one because it's already metal there, and it looks quite smart. Looks quite traditional. Obviously you've got the steering lock in the key control, which is obviously different from the old 865 air-cooled Triumphs where the key was down on the forks down there, and that's good. But there's also an immobiliser in the key. You can get the alarm if you want to. And there's a USB charging thing under the seat. So, taking the seat off, you put the key in the key lock there, and under here we have got various bits and bobs. Now that is the connector for the computer if you want to change the map of the engine or anything like that. And that's the USB. That's the USB port there. So you can then run a wire either just out into your pocket or along the frame under the tank if you want to. Batteries there obviously. But yeah, look, there we go. So obviously to take the fender off, the rear fender, you just unscrew those bolts there, and put on an eliminator kit. So you could easily chop that down quite nicely. So without the seat on, she looks like that. Just for your info. Okay. Oh, that sounds quite fruity actually. Let's put that down like that. Nice little crackle there. But nice and quiet on idle. Very good. Very neighbour friendly. Let's just go through all of the settings. So there is the clock, traction control on. So it starts off normally with their odometer. Ah, that's a difference. When you first turn it on, it stays where you had it. With my Thruxton, it always turns on at the odometer and you have to click 3-5 times to get to the clock. Bit annoying every day, but that turned on at the right place. That's good. So there's the gear indicator in the top left-hand corner. Traction control on, odometer, trip 2, miles to the gallon, that's instantaneous, that's your average, and there's 1221. But with the traction control, what you do, if you want to, you just hold it down and it turns the traction control off. This was all done with the info button there. But I don't want that off. I want it on, really, let's face it. On a test ride, you don't want to mess around with that sort of thing. But there you go, there's a look at the gauges. It's very nice. I love, as you know, I love that bit of brushed metal there. It's very nice. Right, so Tally Bally Ho, hello. So we're cooking along in 5th gear. Reading 75. Revs are just over 4,000 RPM. And yeah, it's a nifty little bike. It's quite comfortable here. I mean, there isn't much oomph from there. So in 5th gear, 75, floor it. 80. It takes a while. But then again, this isn't for that sort of speed, is it? It's for city town riding with a little bit of, well, like this, countryside roads. And that was perfectly acceptable. I mean, and obviously in a lower gear, it would have been fine, because that was in top 5th gear. So obviously it must be quite a long, tall Sally. No, tall gear, tall 5th. Sounds good. It's got a nice pop, pop, pop. I like it. It's the standard pipes. Right. Oh, sign saying skids. Hooray! Oh, there's a snowflake. Watch out. It hustles fine in... That's 3rd gear. Yeah, it hustles fine in 1st, 2nd and 3rd. And don't forget, this engine isn't broken in yet. It isn't run in. Shouldn't say broken in, really. That's for horses. Fine young fillies. So anyway. Yeah. So far, good impressions. It's a bit gutless. I don't know why, but I'm used to my 1200, so obviously it is. Different to that, but it is lighter. Suspension's nice and soft, nice and bouncy, but there's no vibes through the bars. I like that. And then I can't feel the little bumps through the bars like I could on... What was it that I rode that I could feel the little bumps? Oh, the standard Thruxton, that's right. So the forks ride the road much nicer. I like the upright position. My feet are... Where are they? They're sort of not quite under my bottom. They are 6 inches forwards from under my bottom, so sort of just along my thigh. It's not cramped at all. The seat is very comfy, very plush. And I'm just bouncing along these bumps quite nicely. What am I doing? 40 miles an hour on a country road. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. Cheeky little bike, this. Nice and cheeky. A lot like I said about the Street Twin, really. It is the Street Twin in a different guise. Oh, God, that twig hit my mirror. How dare it? That was first. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Brum, brum. Actually, one thing, this indicator button, it's pointed. Can you see? It's pointy. It's kind of annoying. It's not flat. So when you have to push it in to stop, you just think, oh, that's pointy. It doesn't hurt. It's just a bit pointy. So we're in 3rd. That's got some nice pull up to 60. It's got some good pull. 6,000. It pulls nicely all the way up to 6,000 RPM. That's a nice smooth pull. There's no I mean, it's not a sudden I can't hold up sort of thing. It's yeah, it's nice, but this is the bumpy road. This is the bumpy road I take everything on. Bumpity bump. I can feel the bumps, but boing, boing, boing. Nothing hurts. My bottom doesn't feel like it has been penetrated. My wrists and hands aren't hurting at all. I like this. This is a cheeky little machine that, yeah, it's very nice. Boing, boing, boing. It's not bottoming out. It's a cheeky little machine. I like it. It certainly hasn't got the performance that I would want out of an everyday bike. But if, say, I had a sports bike or something, and I wanted something more classic looking but reliable that I can take out at weekends and just pop around and maybe put the better half on the back and go to visit a pub. You know, that sort of romantic ideal that no one ever seems to do. Yeah, it'd be quite nice. It'd be quite nice. It's nice. So, but hopefully it won't be muddy where I normally stop to video the motorbike, the motorcycle. So I was talking about power and torque and fuel consumption. Now, liquid cooled obviously has to be for the EU regulations. However, what's happened, need to turn it on to go, idiot. What's happened is, because they made it liquid cooled to make the efficiency better, fuel consumption has gone up 23%. Now, my old Thruxton did at least 52 miles to the gallon. This should do about 70. And that's one of the main reasons for getting it. Because the fuel economy, the fun, it builds. The power isn't a punch. Now let's have a look. Let's go into second. Let's get the revs up a bit. Now second gear. So let's get the speed up a little bit. Get the revs up. Second gear. And no one behind me. That's more than you really need. Up to 70. I mean, it's not going to set any records, but I quite like it. Now, money. The Street Twin is £7,500. This is £8,300. £8,300 for a brand new bike that has 59 foot-pounds of torque, 58 brake horsepower, weighs just a little over 200 kilograms, is cheeky, and it looks classic like this. That's not bad going. So what you're doing is you're paying an extra £800 for the change in looks with the Street Twin, but you also get the extra dials and the extra information. So is it worth it? Over the Street Twin, I mean, most of you know by now that this is my sort of style, classical look. So is it worth it? Now, I think you all know me by now, I prefer the classical look. The Street Twin is a nice, modern variation on a classic style, whereas this is meant to look like the 1959 Bonneville, but with modern touches again, with all the bits you want, like the LCD displays and the liquid cooling and everything like that. They've done very nicely to hide all the modern stuff, yeah? So, I'd get this, to be honest. For me, £800 more for styling. If you were to do these pipes and mirrors and handlebars and tank and all this lovely paintwork differently, it would be more than the £800 difference. So if you like, and the spoke wheels are more expensive because they're fiddlier to set up to get the hub central than cast wheels. So yeah, I'd definitely go for this over the Street Twin, just because it's got that classic style but handles exactly the same. Whee! I'd love the LED indicators. There's a few things I'd get differently. Like on my Thruxton, I'd change the engine casing embellishers. I might change in fact, I might black it out. In fact, I'd get the T100 black, let's face it. Now, the thing that annoys me about the T100 black, it's a minor thing, but the T100 black has still got silver levers. What's the point? Everyone's going to want black levers anyway. Ugh, it just ruins the look for me, I'm afraid. So, I was talking about fuel consumption. Should get 74 miles to the gallon easily off a little bike that's got plenty of oomph when you want it, but it's first and second gear. It's nice and nippy in first and second gear. Now, these roads, as you can see, are a little bit wet. What I'm going to do is, someone behind me, I'm in first, so let's go. Ah, there we go. Now, peak power and torque meant to be between the sort of 3,000 and 5,000 rev range. That's what they've gone for, and actually that pulled up that little bit of hill nicely there. But I love this gold pinstripe. Very, very classy, very snazzy. Someone asked me about why do bikes have to have these stickers on. Well, in the modern times of litigation and rubbish like that, Triumph can't have someone coming back saying, "Oh, the engine's broken." Well, why is that? Well, because I was redlining it all the way up for the first 500 miles. Well, you know, we've got a sticker saying what the best practice is for running an engine in. Obviously, this is a demo, so who cares? But these stickers, you know, there's even a sticker on top of the headlight saying, "This is a headlight." These are the first things to go. Look here, it says, wear a helmet. Oh, what the bloody hell? Of course you're going to wear a helmet. It's a legal requirement in this country to wear a helmet. I'm not giving it some because I don't want to fall off or anything. But, oh, there we go. It's nice roads. Yeah. Oh, and I've picked a lovely day for it. Whee! It's got a nice little resonance. It's got a deep resonance. A bit like it's got more depth to it than the Street Twin. Look, I'm doing 30 miles an hour around this corner. It's just a cheeky, fun little light bike. Now, seat height, I don't know about the seat height, didn't say, but it's low. It's certainly a lot lower than the Scrambler 900, the old Scrambler that Mr. 480 has bought, and yeah, it's very light. It feels much lighter than the old air-cooled. Look at that, it's lovely flickable. I'm not even putting any effort in. So I'm flat-footing with very bent legs. Look at that, that's easy. So I'd say, yeah, it's for everybody. Very pretty. Lovely countryside. It's a perfect bike, actually, for enjoying the countryside, because you're not enticed into blatting it everywhere. You're just sitting up, nice and comfy and relaxed. Just enjoy the view. Yeah. I quite like it. Whee! But the beautiful thing, A2 license. You can get this on an A2 license, so hopefully that'll open up the market to the younger cheap people. Admittedly, it's still a lot of money. What is it? So you're looking at around £120 a month on a PCP deal with no deposit. And that's a lot of money for 19, 20-year-olds, but it would get them on old-fashioned looking bikes. It's opening up that scene, dare I say. Opens up that genre of motorcycle to younger people, which is something that the older generation worry about, that the current licensing laws are alienating younger people from getting on motorbikes, and therefore fewer and fewer people are riding bikes. It's a bit of a shame, really. It's a lot lighter than T120, doesn't feel sluggish, so it doesn't need the bigger engine. Perfect for filtering. Hang on, let's have a look. Look at that. That's the steering lock. Look at that. You can really get in and out of traffic like that, can't you? Yeah, the rear brake does have some bite once you give it some, but the travel, it's a good 1.5 inches of travel or so to get any response from the rear brake. Boing, boing, boing. But because it's so light and boing, I feel absolutely safe going up onto these. There it is. Great fun. And it's cheeky. It's a cheeky little bike. Do, 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 do. And yeah, the throttle response is absolutely instant. It's nice. It's so light. This, Triumph call it a torque assist clutch. It's basically a slip assist clutch. It's just so light. Hang on, let's go with little finger. I can put it with my little finger. Hello. Gosh. A lady rider. Lady. Oh, it's just so easy. The biting point is right at the top though, so you barely need to do anything. Going to do a bit on the dual carriageway, see how it behaves. Hello. Nice. Brum brum. Haha. Look at that, up to speed. No time at all. Fourth, fifth, we're in fifth. So we're doing 80. I'm not too worried about saying that because it's only 80 indicated. I'm being overtaken by other drivers, so what the hell. So I'm doing 80, and let's have a look at the instantaneous miles to the gallon at 80. It says 62. So even if you take 5 off that, it's 55 at this, sitting along at 80. That's not bad at all. I'm comfortable, I'm not being blown about. My shoulders are fine, my neck's fine. I do not like that pointy indicator. Do not like that. No, this is nice. I'm having to lean forward slightly against the wind. But other than that, it's stable. Doing 80, I can tilt it, I can look at that. It's still got plenty of lean. So the handling is good even at these slightly higher speeds. So a little bit quicker. It does, although it accelerates slowly in fifth, it does accelerate. It doesn't just sit there, so I'm sure you could go a bit quicker if you really wanted to. In conclusion, really, it's a very nice, very nicely put together little bike, this. I say little, but actually it feels quite long. It's accelerating a lot like my old Thruxton did. See, there's no stability problem if you roll off even quickly. On my Tiger 800, if you were doing 100 and you rolled off quickly, the front shimmied a little bit. There was nothing there. That's lovely. And the suspension, these bumps soaked up. Very comfortable, very comfortable. No, I like that. Yeah, it's very good. Watch out, oldie person. Yeah. It's a very comfortable little bike. If you're just looking for something to commute on, throw bags over the back, can't see a bloody thing with the sun there. Nice quick gear changes there, yeah. Lovely. See, I'm doing 60. I mean, it's not slow by any means. It's a nice little bike. So if you like the looks, you like the style, you're a bit of a tart like me, it's a very nice bike. And it is, what, £2,000 cheaper than the T120? And it's more than capable. I mean, yeah, you don't get the oomph that you get on the T120, but filtering, filtering, filtering along. Yeah, it's a nice little bike, this. I like it. Great fun, very playful. Whee! And the suspension, I mean, I went over that little bridge, boing. It's nice and smooth, nice and progressive. It's beautifully dampened, but you can still feel the bumps, so you've got full control. It's nice. Love it. Yeah. Right, well, thank you very much for watching. Tally Bally Ho. Any further questions, let me know in the comments. And I hope I've kind of remembered everything. It's not as comprehensive a review as normal because, of course, everything else was on the Street Twin. I've kind of done the differences between this and the Street Twin. So, yes, thank you very much. Tally Bally Ho! Toodle pip, chaps! Captain's log additional. Well, just had a thought. I felt too big on the Street Twin. I felt that I looked like a gorilla on a tricycle, but actually this fits. This fits. It's a nice, light motorbike, and it fits. I feel the part, and it's a lot lighter than the T120. It's easier to ride. Light clutch, as I said, instant throttle. It's not that expensive. It can be A2 license applicable. You've got ABS, you've got traction control, it's light, it's flickable, it's fun, it's cheeky, it looks like this. What more do you want? I think it's an excellent little bike. Excellent little bike. I love it, it's cheeky, it's fun. It's a lot like the conclusion I came with the Street Twin, but this has got the looks. Haha! For me anyway, the Street Twin's kind of modern looking, a bit sort of Ducati Scrambler looking, but this has got the looks. Filtering, filtering, filtering along, filtering, filtering. This is my filtering song. Oh, come on. Numpty, come on, Numpty. Come on, Numpty. Come on, Numpty. Get out of the way. Well done, Triumph! Huzzah! A triumph for Triumph! I'm not normally this biased. Yes, I am. Bye!